Welcome to another Firefly beading tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to make a cute little bell chime for yourself or as a gift for someone special. A few materials you're going to need are 22 gauge half hard wire, this is gold over copper, a bell, 2 charms, 3 beads of your choice, a leather or satin end to go on the end of your suede, a 15mm jump ring and a 10mm jump ring, some flush cutters, your chain nose pliers, and your round nose pliers. To start off with, we're going to cut about a 5-inch piece of wire. Using your round nose pliers, you're going to go about 2 inches down the wire that you just cut, and then you're going to place it about halfway down or a little bit less than halfway down your round nose and bend the wire away from you. Then you're going to bend the wire back towards you, turn your pliers down, and keep bending the wire around. I take mine out, put it on the back side, and keep bending my wire around to make a double loop here. Then I'm going to put my wire, once it's out at a right angle again, I'm going to grab my chain nose pliers and gently pull this tail around to create a coil. And I'm going to continue to coil the wire of the tail down about 3 times. Once I've got it to about 3, I'm going to clip off the tail here. And then use one of my first beads, which is shaped like a teardrop. And I'm going to put the larger end of the teardrop down towards that coil that we just made. Using your round nose pliers again, you're going to place the wire about 1/4 of an inch into your pliers. And you're going to bend the wire away from you, turn your pliers to bend your wire back towards you, turn your pliers again, and do just 1 loop now. So I'm going to keep the loop slightly open, and I'm going to slide on my first charm. I'm using little tree charms here. So I'm going to slide it on through the tail and then up into the loop. Then I'm going to use my chain nose pliers, the ones that are flat, and kind of carefully grab the loop to stabilize it. And then gently, I'm going to change to my non-dominant hand and use my dominant hand to coil the wire around again about 3 times down, or as many as it takes to get down to the bead. I'm going to use my chain nose pliers here just to gently smash down the wire, make sure it's tight against the bead, and then snip off the tail using my flush cutters. And again, I like to use the chain nose pliers to sort of mash down that little tail if it's sticking out too much. So you should have your larger double coil on the bottom, your bead, your single coil on top, and then a charm. Now you're going to cut off about 3 inches of wire here now, instead of the 5. And you're going to come down about 1.5 inches or so with your round nose pliers. And again, I'm just coming in about 1/4 of an inch in, and I'm bending the wire away, bending it towards me, and then bending it around. And again, we're just doing a single loop on this one too, slightly open it, and slide it onto the top part of this charm. Then I'm going to stabilize using my chain nose pliers again. If the tail is too tiny, I use my round nose pliers to help me pull the tail around. And again, I try to get a consistent 3 coils each time. Once I've got my coil where I need it, I'm going to get my flush cutters and cut off this tail again. Sometimes I place my index finger at at the top here before I clip so I don't have anything flying off. But then I'm going to again grab my bead. I have a tear-shaped bead, so I'm going to do the larger end of the tear facing down. And again, grabbing my round nose pliers, putting them about 1/4 of the way in, bending away, bending towards me, and then bending around. And I'm going to open this just slightly with those guys so that I can slip on my second charm. And again, I'm going to use my chain nose pliers to stabilize everything, and I'm going to switch to my non-dominant hand to hold, my dominant hand to hold my other pliers. And I'm going to very gently wrap around using my round nose pliers and being careful not to bend anything crazily. And once I get about 3 coils down, I'm going to again snip off the tail here. And then I kind of flatten down this tail here if I need to. So far, you've got your 2 beads and your 2 charms. So for this last bit here, I'm going to again cut off about 5 inches of wire, just like we did at the beginning. And again, I'm going to use my round nose pliers. And I'm going to grab about 2 inches down and about almost halfway into the pliers and start by bending the wire away from me. And then I'm going to turn my pliers up and bend the wire back towards me. And then bend the wire around. And I'm going to do the same thing and continue on to make another double loop here. I'm going to then grab my chain nose pliers and continue to do a coil down as we've been doing, about 3. Again, trying to keep them all consistent looking. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And then using my cutters, I'm going to snip off that little tail. So with this double loop, that's actually going to be the top. So what I'm going to do is slide on my bead now with the smaller end pointing towards the loop this time. And the larger end is what's going to go onto this charm here. So again, I grab down next to the bead about 1/4 of the way into the pliers, and I bend away, turn my pliers, bend towards me, turn my pliers, and bend around, leaving a slight opening by pulling the wire a little bit. I'm going to slide on this loop to the existing charm. So everything kind of looks like this. Using my chain nose pliers, I'm going to anchor everything very gently and carefully and put in those 3 coils here. After the coils, I'm going to snip off this tail and flatten everything down just very gently so that nothing sticky is poking out. So you've got 3 beads and 2 charms. You've got a double loop on the bottom and a double loop on the top. So now I'm going to take this large 15mm jump ring, which is pretty easy to open with my hands. I'm going to slide it through the bottom. And then I'm going to slide on my bell. And I'm going to close it. And you want to make sure it's flush, so sometimes going past a little bit and then coming back. Just making sure there's not a gap in between so that nothing slides out. And then we're ready to do the top part of this little dangly guy. And I'm going to take my suede here. And I'm going to put it together like this. So it's side by side. I'm going to take these little leather ends that we sell here at Firefly and kind of put them in so that the loop of the leather end is pointing down. So they're side by side, parallel, and using my chain nose pliers, I'm going to fold over one side. The key to this is just holding everything securely and then gently fold over one side to begin with and kind of flatten it all down, and then come in from the top and flatten the other side. You just have to have patience with these guys and really just get the hang of holding everything and pinching everything and working slow but precisely. And in the end, it should look like this. And if you tug on it, nothing should fall out. So I'm going to take my 12mm jump ring or 10mm jump ring and I'm going to open it. It doesn't really matter, just a smaller jump ring here. And I'm going to slide on my little piece I just made, and then I'm going to slide on the top of my bell charm. And then with everything anchored, I'm going to close it all back up very carefully. Typically I like to do this with 2 chain nose pliers, but today I only have my round nose and my chain nose. And you just want to close it up so that everything is, again, tight and secure. And that's that. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit like and subscribe to our channel if you'd like to learn more about how to make certain projects. Happy beading from us at Firefly.